any new YouTuber, and specifically your content, it's more like a day in a life vlog. You're really showing, and it was interesting to hear you say that. I don't think of putting what I'm going to create for the content. You're living your day-to-day life, and then the content kind of follows that.
Yes.
Which is much different than, let's say, guys like Esquire or Chris Parker or Patty Doyle or Mickey Stoke. These people, they kind of have a plan and a direction. Mm-hmm. Now, when you came to Thailand and you were planning to build this YouTube channel, or let's say take it to the next level, was that your goal? I'm going to just continue vlogging in Thailand and see how to monetize that.
Yes. And what I wanted is kind of what I'm doing now, but you can't start like that because you need to build a relationship with the audience. And, just if you just start making daily life videos, people are going to be like, well, why would I watch this guy? So for me, the videos that started doing well were like informative ones during the pandemic and updates and letting people know what was happening here. And then you build the audience, and then I was able to, start doing more of the daily life stuff, and people stuck around for it.
There's a certain point your content, and every YouTuber can kind of, agree with this. Let's call them house tours, and how much does this rent cost, and how can I spend $5 in Bangkok, and how far will this money go? And those videos always do well. Some of your top videos, you're usually involved with a female friend.
Yes.
And this can be in South Korea, this can be in Philippines and Thailand. When did you decide, like, okay, this type of content's doing very well and I'm going to lean into it?
It just, actually, the first time I put a girl in the thumbnail, the video jumped up in views. Like, I noticed it. Chalk and cheese difference. But I never do them. Like, I enjoy doing the videos with the girls, but for me, it's not for the views. And I actually get concerned. Like, I don't want to do too many in a row with girls because I don't want people to follow me for them. So that's why I try and sort of break all that up. But because I enjoy making videos, I want to make them with my friends. That's what I'm passionate about, and I enjoy that experience.
Now, when you're finding these female friends, and I saw one in the Philippines, you had two girls with yellow shirts. They didn't talk much on camera, and this is probably one of the first videos that really launched the channel.
Yeah.
When you reach out to them, are you explaining like what's going to be happening today? Yes, you're doing the day in the life, but how are you connecting with them originally?
So that one, I was friends with those two girls anyway, and I've been sort of hanging out with them. I've been in the Philippines a few times, and I always hung out with them, and they just wanted to sort of come along for the day. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they interacted with the camera at all. They were just sort of doing their thing, and I was filming it. And I didn't know, like, I wasn't taking YouTube seriously then. It was just sort of for fun. So it was just a fun little video. I had, only a handful of subscribers. So it was just a fun video for me to make mostly.
When you're originally meeting them, and maybe this is a more difficult question, there's a lot of, I know a lot of friends here that will travel to the Philippines and they'll use the apps like Filipina or whatever.
Right.
We got people using Thai Friendly. Is that how you're initially connecting to them?
No, I mean, I know I've met everyone first. So, I mean, I've used like Tinder and stuff to meet people, but I think two of the videos that I did, they were actually like the first time we'd met. But the rest of them, like, I already knew the people before, and then they'll suss me out and watch some of the other videos and stuff, and I think they make the decision whether they want to do it or not.
Have you had any trouble with them later in the future? As to frame that question, they may have had the intentions to be building their accounts and chasing clout, and after they film, they might come back to you and say, hey, this video is doing quite well. What's in it for me?
No, I haven't had any of that, thankfully. Everyone that's been in my videos, I have a great relationship with. It's more the biggest challenge for them is building the trust to be to relax on camera and sort of be themselves, because I'm used to filming myself, but they don't want to ever look bad, right? Like, that's why people take 100 selfies to get the one shot. But once they see that I edit out the bits where they don't look good or whatever, that builds the trust, and then they get much more natural on camera.
Some of these videos, again, you'll be in the Philippines, then you're in Thailand, and there's a variety of girls that are going to be on those vlogs for that day.
Yeah.
Do they ever take a look and go, hey, you know, they can scroll back and see there's maybe 5 different girls and maybe they're number 6. Is that a question that comes to the table, and are they offended?
Not really. I mean, I'm very upfront when I meet people about, I mean, it's all out there anyway, so I can't really be secretive. Just about all the girls that have been in my videos, they've all kind of met each other at different points. And, you know, they're all really good friends of mine. But just when I do meet people, I'm very upfront, like right from the beginning.
But it's not like an Andrew Tate harem you're running here, no?
No.
I saw one of the videos I watched yesterday. There was a girl that was kind of a real estate agent or working in real estate in Pattaya. She came to Bangkok, and it was during the lockdowns and whatnot. And you made this video where you kind of went to her house and you were playing cards and eating food. These relationships do they last longer, or can you talk a bit about like what relationships have you continued with these girls maybe for a longer period of time? Yeah, so that girl that you're talking about, she was one of the first girls that I did videos with here in Thailand. We're still fantastic friends. I was with her a couple of days ago. We still hung out. And I mean, the other one that I had a lot, the girl with the pink hair. Kay, yeah. Kay. So she was my girlfriend. We actually went out for about 4 months. And then after we broke up, we're still really, really close. You know, I hung out with her last week as well. So I mean, these are my friends. I genuinely care about them. So it's easy to maintain that relationship. And they're okay with the content. And now, watching guys that are maybe one of the top vloggers right now, and I mean, it's objective to say guys like Esquire. When you're creating your content, do you do some research to see, what is he doing? Why is he being more successful on these videos? Is there anything I can take from that, and kind of whether it's small things that you could touch on that you can incorporate into yours? I mean, I don't look at other, like Esquire or whatever. I don't look at what they're doing here and try and model what I do on that. I just try and stick to what I'm doing, because I don't want my content, you know, I don't plan my You're not planning. I understand. You're never, like you said, you're saying tomorrow you're driving up here. Yeah. You're filming, and you're just filming whatever the hell you're going to be doing in that day. Yeah. This is the North Star of your content. Yeah. So I don't try and plan my day around my content. Is what I was trying to say. I try and decide. I decide what do I want to do today, and how can I make a video from that. Yeah. And for today, so this will turn into maybe a piece of content. And how quickly can you turn that around in terms of your editing process and actually launching it to YouTube? I can do it same day. Same day? I can. I usually have a couple in the bank. I also like to, because I'm moving around all the time, I also like people not knowing where I am, if that makes sense. Like if I shoot down to Pattaya, or, you know, when I come here, it'll be like a few days so I put out the first video here. Have you always done that, or did that kind of come as you started to grow and people might have been trying to follow you? So I had this really interesting experience, and I had hardly any subscribers at the time. And I was sitting in, I was living in Pattaya during the lockdowns, and I was just like in my room editing one day, and there was a knock at the door, and I thought it was like housekeeping or something. So I opened the door, and it's just some guy, and is like, "Hey man, like I love your videos. Can we hang out?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, because I'd been showing my hotel. And I'd obviously showed the room number or something of me walking out. And that's when I started to realize, like, oh, you need to be careful about what you do and don't show. Yeah. Do you have like a community of vloggers that you share these stories with, that you can, like a help group you can reach out to? Yeah. I'm in a group chat. And it's like, we call ourselves like the YouTube support group. Okay. But no, having a good network of YouTuber friends is really important, because it's good to talk about these things. Paddy Doyle's a mate of mine. Yeah. And I was with him last week, and we were talking about this, you know, planning your day around the content and how much of an impact that can have. You know, he jumps on a bike and goes days and days on end, and it's like, that can be really draining. So yeah, I've seen, sorry, grab some water if you're thirsty as well. Some of the guests, they'll come on and they're like, "Can I move?" It's like, this is a podcast, be free. Yeah, I mean, Paddy, I watch his content. It's very overwhelming, I can imagine, for him. And I've heard guys like Chad from CB Media explained back in the day as well when Chad was kind of doing more of the like during the pandemic tours around Isan. And he said, it's not really that fun and you wouldn't want to be with me because I might need to stop 50 times and retake the shot. You don't want to be part of that tour. I have to do it on my own. Does Patty say something similar as well?
Yeah, it's not as easy as it all looks. And yes, it seems so glamorous, right? Like, oh, let's jump on a motorbike and go around the country. And, you know, I think, like, I've wanted to do bike tours, but I'm like, God, it's a lot of work. You know, there'll be times where you'll be riding all day and there's nothing interesting to see or talk about. There's days where it rains. Yeah. You know, so I think it's a lot more challenging and less glamorous than it looks.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about doing a vlog, but we'll probably do something a little bit different. We filmed a concept episode. It's called People of Phuket. And the idea of it is we filmed one. I just don't have the bandwidth to keep going on it yet, but eventually I'll get back into it. And the idea is the guests that come onto the show that are living in Phuket, or it could be anywhere in Thailand, but obviously easier with Phuket. The guests will come on the show and then we will go do a day in the life vlog of them.
Oh, cool.
And then kind of connect the two videos. So it's, you know, what they talk about, what they do there, it's, you know, you're kind of just sitting here. And then there we can get the B-roll and the actual footage. And at that point, when you're creating content and reels and clips, it can blend together. So it's trying to synergize that. I just don't have the bandwidth. We filmed one and the filming alone took like 2 weeks because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And then the editing was like another month because we didn't know what we're doing and going back and reshooting. So, I mean, I give a lot of respect to vloggers out there at that level. It's not easy. It's definitely not an easy job. To jump back to, let's say, your support group, the vloggers, this community is primarily most of you now are located in Bangkok.
Yep.
There's not too many on this island. There's one, Richie Maybella down south. Is there any politics in this group where, you know, don't talk to that fuckhead because of XYZ?
No, and it's really funny because, like, I mean, everyone thinks that we're in competition with each other, but it's not the case at all, you know? It's almost more of a community. So, yeah, no egos, no... I mean, we'll talk about, like, we sit around and gossip and stuff like that. But, no, there's no egos or anything.
Yeah, who's, I mean, well, we won't throw Esquire under the building. We saw Esquire, okay, whatever, fuck it. I saw Esquire, he originally blew up Pearly G and these girls in Icy. I'm like, I've always wondered, he brings them on and then what happens behind closed doors? And then anyways, that's
I mean, that's the question I get asked all the time as well, you know, like, got all these girls in your videos and stuff. And
yeah, I guess the original, then she became your girlfriend. So, I mean, that first video, the girl with the pink hair, Kay.
Yep.
You kind of end the vlog where you're like, lights are on in your apartment, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna keep drinking. Just like I think most people's imagination understood what's going on there. Yeah. If you enjoyed this content, we're doing 5 clips like this a week. If you want to watch the full podcast, click here.